I remember that it seemed like a new structure. We didn't really know much about it, but it was a place where we could have intramural events and where we could go to basketball games. The field house initially was revealed in the minutes of the Board of Trustees to have cost only $1,700.
We took these two airplane hangars from Los Alamos, New Mexico, that the government was going to get rid of because they had served their useful life, right? And we buy them for a penny and take them apart in New Mexico, put them on flatbed trailers, truck them to Lubbock, Texas with no outside help. And LCU people, students, faculty, staff come together to reassemble them here and turn them into this structure that's going to turn into a competition facility for our basketball and later our volleyball team. Jimmy Robbins, who was a student at LCU in 1963, gave his life for this, fell in a terrible, tragic accident.
He was working on it and apparently was eating a peach while he was up on a fly system and got choking and fell off. It's a tragic death.
My personal thoughts at that time were, we need to tear that down and start over. It's too big of a project. So there was a time period in there where I was advocating that we needed to tear it down. Walking into the rec center, when you approach it now and you see the front of it, and what most people don't have is the concept of comparison. In the old one, you walked into a slanted track because there was a track around it. It was built for indoor collegiate track, and it was kind of obtrusive. There was a barrier. Now every time I just walked from this building to the rec center, you can't look at the front of it and go, okay, that's cool.
It has transformed that place. They used to have concrete stands that were in that facility on one side of it that had a big dungeon-like corridor back behind them.
The interesting part was it was kind of part of the culture. It was cold in the winter. It was hot in the summer.
I used to practice here. Our basketball practice time in college was right after chapel. So it was about 10:45 in the morning we started practice. And we would come down for practice, and it would be in the 30s in Lubbock, Texas. And it would be in the 30s inside the field house. And we would have on our heavy winter jackets. You could see your breath, and it was quite an interesting experience. Whereas in the summertime, I played a lot of basketball here in the summer, it would just be oppressively hot inside the field house. And you would just play as long as you could and then just collapse because you were completely melted by the heat.
Lubbock Christian College, as it was, as a junior college. And when I arrived, and up all through my time, even as president, Hugh Rhodes was an active person as a coach, particularly in track and field, and as a physical education teacher.
And this was like where I played. This is from my earliest days. My dad was the basketball coach at LCU, and so I used to come over here for practices and hang out with the team, and I have great stories of my parents, even before I can remember. My parents and the Rhodes, very humble folks who came to LCU not because they were seeking fame or fortune, but because they believed in what LCU stood for. They believed in the mission, the cause that this great institution was founded to advance. And so to come to the end of their careers and someone want to name this facility in their honor was something they could not imagine. They felt really honored and humbled, and it was a very special moment for them.
Life has changed dramatically on this campus over the last 7 to 8 years. Whereas there wasn't really a place for students to come together and create community, we sort of have built that here in this facility so that whether it's 6 o'clock in the morning, 8 o'clock in the afternoon, 11 o'clock at night, there's always somebody here in this building, and they can always come here to socialize, be with their friends. It's kind of become a dependent place on campus. Every day is different. Some days we have intramural games, some days we have basketball tournaments, some days we have summer camps. It just depends on the day.
This is just one of the most amazing places at LCU, don't you think? And I think it reflects so much of about our character, the creativity, the ingenuity, the resourcefulness of the LCU community.
I think the most exciting thing is to have such a quality activity center for the students. It's just great. Compared that weight room compared to the one that was there when I came in '69, which was a universal system that had 8 stations on it, tucked away in the corner with very little light, very little heat in the winter. And now you've got that beautiful facility. It's a great step forward.